morning, everyone. This is Star Connor, and we're in the kitchen for What's Cooking. And right now I have Miss Katie Wolf, and we are celebrating Kentucky Derby, correct?
That's correct. It's May 6th, the Run for the Roses.
All right, and what are we starting out with today?
Well, the Kentucky Derby is full of tradition, and so we have a lot of the traditional foods, and so it's really important. People start out early on Derby Day. They will have an early morning brunch, then they'll go to the track, and you want a good meal in your stomach before you go to the track because everybody drinks mint juleps. And then afterwards, the Derby doesn't start till around 6 o'clock p.m., and so then afterwards people will have more of a late type of dinner, evening party. But the activity starts very early.
Okay, well, I'm ready to dive in. So what do we have here?
Okay. So starting, we have what would be a typical Bibb lettuce salad.
Okay.
Bibb lettuce was originally grown in Frankfort, Kentucky, and it's supposed to be something, the lime in the soil is supposed to make it really good. And so this today is not Bibb lettuce because it's not out yet,
okay.
But at least in Michigan. But with mandarin oranges and roasted pecans, and then a thin slice of red onion and a poppy seed dressing.
Okay, great. And then moving on, what do we have next?
So the next is the big dish for Kentucky Derby, and that's Kentucky burgoo. And that dates back to the Civil War. When they had all the soldiers, they would put everything they could find pretty much in a big kettle, and it would cook for hours and hours. And so this has, you can put all kinds of meat in it. This has pork and beef, lamb, and chicken in it, and lots of vegetables, a little bit of okra, and it has, the key ingredient is always the Kentucky bourbon. It's typical that they would eat it with cornbread. This cornbread has a little bit of snap to it. I put a little bit of hot sauce in there, so everything with the Kentucky Derby, you're kind of kicking it up a little bit. Before you add any ingredients, the meat cooks about 3 hours, and then the dish beyond that cooks for another 4 to 5 hours. Some people cook it for the full day. So this was being made while most of you were sleeping last night.
Okay. For you Michiganders that want to join in with Kentucky Derby.
So this is another pretty special Kentucky dish, and it's Benedictine cheese. And if you go to any grocery store in Kentucky, you will find Benedictine cheese. And then for some reason you move out of that area and you can't find it anywhere. So it's a cucumber spread.
Okay.
And so typically a lot of people will make finger sandwiches with it. And then I'm going to leave this for the birds. And let Star spread those, and then we'll make a couple finger sandwiches, and you can actually even slice them again if you'd like. But
so proper etiquette. I know there's an etiquette. Do we spread on top, or just like this, or is that too much?
You want to put enough on there because it's a light flavor. So the big thing if you're making this recipe is there's a lot of water in the cucumber, and so you need to make sure you get the seeds out and then you drain that, or else it'll be runny. So this consistency is really important.
All right, so what do we have next here, Katie?
Then this is the part that a lot of people really look forward to, and so we've got, you always, Kentucky Derby with strawberries dipped in chocolate, or that's pretty much a must. And in Kentucky, the strawberries are just coming up, so it's good time to, so you just dip them in. So you want to make sure that you get the big, best strawberries that you can find that are tasty, and then you also want to make sure that they're very dry, because if they're not dry, the chocolate won't stay on them. And so the other thing that we have here is, this particular pie is called the Run for the Roses pie. And that's what the Kentucky Derby is known for. And one of the key ingredients, again, is the Kentucky bourbon.
Okay.
It has pecans, chocolate chips, butter, flour, sugar. All the ingredients are right here. You use a ready-made shell, 2 eggs, a little bit of vanilla, and here's the flour and sugar in here.
So growing up, was this one of your favorite things, cooking with your mom?
Oh, well, my mother made pies like you wouldn't believe. So every kind of pie, fruit pies, apple pies, pecan pies. But Kentucky Derby, really, we only ate it around Derby time, and partly it's very rich.
Okay.
And so you have to, spend the rest of the year working out so you can eat it again.
Right. So Katie, what do we have here?
So the mint julep is the classic drink for Kentucky Derby. And in fact, for a lot of brides in Kentucky, one of the favorite gifts is that people give them their mint julep cups. And so that was 30 years ago when I got married. We got our set of mint julep cups, and that's what we're using here today.
Okay.
So the trick with the mint julep is that you want the glass, if you can see it's frosted here, you want the glass to be as cold as possible. You use shaved ice and fill it to the top. And then last night I made a simple syrup out of just sugar and water, and then with a cup and a half of mint that was chopped up so that you get that minty feeling. So this is the simple syrup. And so you add that simple syrup, and then you put a jigger of Kentucky bourbon, and there you have it. A little messy, but you have it. Okay. So this would be the Kentucky drink. Okay. If you're not interested in the bourbon, you can always sneak some tea in there.
Right, a non-alcoholic beverage. Okay.
This is pretty much, and it is strong, and so you want to drink it slow, but it's delicious if you make it right. I think right now, if you use this as a spread for your Kentucky Derby party, you'd be pretty well set.
Well, that's right. So all you Michiganders, welcome to the Kentucky Derby. And don't forget to tune in every Monday for In the Kitchen on What's Cooking with Star Content.